Ha ha. Hello, people. What's cracking? What's cracking? Talk to me. Tell me something good. What y'all got on? Anybody here? Anybody there? I don't tell nobody. What's up, everybody? Surprise! Ah! That's right. Your boy back. Got a hot one. Now I got a got a little story for y'all. We're going back to my first time going to prison. So now I've already been through county jail. Fought all the way, went to trial, lost trial, got sentenced, and then got sent to Donovan. They sent me to Donovan reception. This was 1991. 1991 had an H number. So when we go in the gate, going through that gate, when you drive and that bus drives through that gate, and you see the gun towers and all the razor wire, and go past the electrified fence, and then see more razor wire and more fence and more gun towers. It was crazy, you know what I'm saying? I was young, I was a kid, I was scared. I had already what the hell was that? Everybody here, y'all back? Uh Good evening, sir. I see you. I see you. Yeah, so going through those gates when you first drive through, it's a moment you never forget. You don't ever forget after you go when you drive through them gates when you got a prison sentence. So I was going up in there, and I knew they got hits. The whites are going to have problems with me as soon as I get there. I'm not looking forward to it, but you know what I'm saying. It's too late. I did the crime. Now I got to do the time. You remember that old song? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. I done been all through the juvenile system, so I know how it goes. When you get somewhere, you gotta set an example. So I know, you know what I'm saying, I'm just, you know what I'm saying, hoping I get a chance. I don't know what I'm up against, but everybody's been telling me all my life, don't go to prison and white boys gonna kill you. So now here I am. I ain't got no choice. I can't go back. I'll be good. I'm sorry. I'll be good. Nah, they ain't going for it. So, I came in the gate, and you go to a reception building. Yo, Snow, be a zine. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when you go through the gate, you know what I mean? You go to this building, and this is where, they give you the rundown and explain how things are gonna go. You got the big signs up over your head, you know what I mean? No warning shots. So, I don't know what to expect. I'm just, here, and it's, you know what I mean, I ain't got no choice. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go if somebody, but I don't know what to expect, who to expect it from. Because when I first came in the gate, the inmates got your paperwork. So when you first get there, inmates know, you know what I'm saying, whether you're, you know what I'm saying, a pedophile or a rat, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever your charge is, you know what I'm saying, if you're a rapist or anything like that, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be known right off the bat by everybody. So, you know what I mean, ain't no ducking and hiding, and none of that. Now the administration controls all that, and people come in, and you don't know whether he's this or that, or, you know what I mean. I don't know how it is now. Don't need to find out. Ain't gonna be finding out. But so this was back, like I said, this was back in 1991. I'm young, I'm gang banging, I'm a crip. So I got a chip on my shoulder, I got something to prove. I'm trying to, I've had people tell me all my life, that if I go come here, that they're gonna kill me, and I'm gonna fight, what I'm saying, you're not gonna get me. So it was scary, I had to deal with that. And that's, I mean, And then when I got there and I got inside, my homeboys, you know what I'm saying? The homies like, cuz as long as it's one on one, you know what I'm saying? We got you. Ain't nobody, So when I hit the yard, we spent a lap, you know what I'm saying? The homie told me, you know what I'm saying, look, any white boy want to get down, you got to deal with that so that nobody else has to be involved. You always got to do that. Because if you don't, ain't nobody going to fight for you. So always take off. If there's a situation, now this was one of my big homies, you know what I'm saying? And I love and respect. He gave me the game, and told me how it was. And he was like, man, ain't nobody gonna, you know what I'm saying, be here for you. You better be here for yourself. Because if you here for yourself, then, then somebody can have your back. Because ain't nobody gonna have your back if you ain't here for yourself. So, with that in mind, I'm taking off. Anytime I feel there's a situation, and that's how I survived in prison. I survived in prison. Like if I'm on a yard and I feel tension and I hear rumors or you know what I'm saying, seem like it's some I'm gonna find a white boy who's what I'm saying, a Nazi, a skinhead, somebody, with some rank, somebody that's one of they shot callers, one of their big dogs, and I'm gonna try and hurt him real bad. And this is just so that the next person thinks twice before they come at me, you know. But as soon as I hit the yard, the white boys was like, all right, you know what I'm saying, we got a white boy, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna send this dude, you know what I'm saying, to fight him in the building, you know. Okay, so when we go back in the yard, I already know, you know what I'm saying, I got a fight coming. So when we go back up into the building, we're going to go up under the stairs real quick and try and get it out the way while people are distracting the police so we don't get caught up. But my homie's going to be there to back me up, and his people going to be there, you know what I'm saying, everybody watching, all eyes on me. C. Wilson, lessons of survival. Yep, hey, that's the main thing, because if you don't survive, what's it all for? And it was many a times in prison I didn't know whether I was going to survive or because there's a whole lot of situations that people don't take in play. The administration, you got staff. I done had administration. I had a lieutenant tell me I was a disgrace to his race, and I ain't got no pride and ought to be ashamed of myself. This was after he asked me, he's like, how the hell did you get in? Well, I grew up in the hood and then he listened to me, you know what I'm saying? He's like, you ain't got no pride, do you? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm like, man, what does this have to do with my 115? A 115, for those that don't know, in prison is like a rule violation. I got a ticket. So I got in trouble for something. So now he's the judge and jury, and this is my hearing. So evidence is brought, and you know what I'm saying, I got a witness and other stuff, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to beat this case, basically. That's what it is. You got a case in jail. So I'm going to classification, and the lieutenant tells me I ain't got no pride and I ought to be ashamed of myself. And I'm like, what does this have to do with my 115? You're supposed to be the judge in this 115. He's like, oh, you're guilty. Get him out of here. Like, this is the way it is. People don't understand. Hi. If you don't gangbang, but from Los Angeles, being black, who has your back? And who do you roll with? I roll with the San Diego neighborhood Crips. I spent many years, you know what I'm saying, on the line in prison. I'm well known from, you know what I'm saying, from people from LA to San Diego to the Bay Area. Don't get it twisted. If you done time in the last 20 years, you know what I'm saying, ask somebody about Snowroc in prison. Anybody that's been to prison, I'm not known on the streets. I'm not famous. I'm not, I'm out here, you know what I'm saying, trying to change my life and not go back to the cage. Not go back to, you know what I'm saying, standing on the block trying to slang a rock. I got a job, you know what I'm saying, I'm taking care of my family. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to push positivity because that old shit ain't about nothing. You know what I mean? It's time to step into this new era. We got a chance, you know what I'm saying, to do something. To do something. Everybody, you wake up, you got a chance. Somebody didn't wake up this morning. Somebody don't get another chance. So one day, you know what I'm saying, that our chances are going to be over. So we got to do what we can with the time we got. I'm talking about regular non-bangers. If you don't bang, but you from Los Angeles, being black, you ride non-affiliate. They got blacks that are non-affiliates in prison. So you know what I'm saying, you just with the blacks, you just a non-affiliate. Whether you from LA, San Diego, you know what I mean, it doesn't matter. So, but that's a whole different little group. That's the thing. The blacks are in so many different groups. You know what I mean? We can't never come together, you know. And because I've been in situations where, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, try and get out of the way when there's a riot. For real, think about it. Ask somebody who's been there, who's been in it, and you know what I'm saying, a lot of people try and slide out the way. First of all, you don't want to get caught. Everybody's trying to get away. Don't nobody want to get that extra time. Don't nobody want to get that extra, extra shoe term. Won't be able to get the time back from the last, mess up we did or whatever the situation. And when you in prison, it's you have to go with whoever, if that's your people, that's where you go. I came in as San Diego Crip, you know what I mean? But I'm white. I ain't know, hey, you know what I'm saying, nah, you know what I'm saying, so I had problems with the whites because I was with the blacks. I was put into a black cell and I had, staff that was what? No, you can't do that. You're white. You gotta go in the you can't. Nah, you ain't put me in the cell with a white boy. You put a white boy up in the cell with me and something's gonna happen. So hey. So, it was situations where, look, man, you come up in this cell, it's going down. I'm a Crip. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you know. You come up in this cell, it's going down. And if I'm standing in the back of the cell, what you gonna do? Like, hey, I done had a whole bunch of ACO. I ain't going up in there. I already had a reputation. I've been fighting all my life. So open invitation, anybody 1-on-1. That's how I survived prison. And that's from, I was in level 4. Uh, that's why they call me slow. He said, you cool as ice. That's why they call me snow. Cooler than a polar bear's toenails. Don't get it twisted. Snow slicker than a possum fat on a hot day. But nah, man, I spent a lot of time. I wasted a lot of my life in prison. And if anybody listening to my story, man, don't go do the shit I did. I spent over 2 decades stuck in a cage in a cell and used as a slave by the state of California, made to work for pennies. Literally, I was in prison working for pennies. It took me a long time to realize this because, I kept going back, but I'm going back for long times. The first time I did was 3 years, and I got out, went right back, did 12 years. Did you have any one of your gang not really want you there because you're a white Crip? I had not for my gang. Not for my block, not for my neighborhood, not for. But I had, people that wasn't happy. This white boy think he doing. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. Can't nobody choose my path. You know what I mean? And I chose the hard way. Trust me. Believe I chose the hard way. And I survived. And that's the thing, that's what I'm here talking about. I survived because I'm still here. So I figure he kept me here for a reason. I'm just trying to, figure out what it is. Try and get it done. But when I first went in, Appreciate you, Wilson. Do LA Crips kick it with San Diego Crips? Yes. Crips, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. You know what I mean? Crips, you a Crip, you're a Crip. But you know what I'm saying? LA and San Diego is different. You know what I mean? Because San Diego, the Bloods outnumber the Crips. In LA, the Crips outnumber the Bloods. So the Crips are killing Crips in LA. San Diego, we don't get down like that. And then, you know what I'm saying, we're smaller, we're not as big. And, you know what I'm saying, we're outnumbered. It's like 4 or 5 Bloods to every Crip in San Diego. So we're a little bit outnumbered. But yeah, you know what I'm saying, it's Bloods kill Bloods down here. And that's, you know what I'm saying, all that needs to stop. We need to stop killing ourselves. We need to stop, you know what I'm saying, man, look, let that shit go. It's time, you know what I'm saying, it's time to move on, step up. Community. I'm trying to be part of my community. I'm trying to, work with, you know what I'm saying, people in the community to do things to help our community. Now I'm, you know what I'm saying, trying to do the opposite of what I used to do. If, you know what I'm saying, if anybody know, you know what I'm saying, you know. But nah, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to be taught. I'm getting all sidetracked. But back to Donovan. So this is reception when I first got to prison. So I hit the yard and then I got into a fight. And then the police didn't know about it, didn't see nothing. And then, you know what I'm saying, we made it to our cells and didn't know about the police. They found out. Word of mouth, you know what I mean? A couple hours later, we're getting called into the office and then they're telling us everything that happened. So it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do? I don't know nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. Why you got marks, on your hand, lumped up, hey. So they put me in 16 building, which is like the know nothing building, the orientation building. When you first get there, you're not allowed to, be out, not allowed to go to yard, canteen, none of the, you know what I'm saying, none of the activities I want to be, you know what I mean, So they put me back over there and I'm hot, but I got homies, you know what I'm saying, and my homies holler at the police, the lieutenant, and they get me out. Because it was a female lieutenant and she was black. And she had already said that it was cool, you know what I'm saying, because I said, you know what I'm saying, she was like, do you fear for your safety? I'm like, nope, you know what I'm saying, she's like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying, we're making you aware of this situation so that we're not responsible. I'm like, all right, I'm aware of it, you know what I'm saying, you don't leave me here. I don't fear for my safety. I'm going to be okay. She's like, all right, let him go. So they put me in the cell with a black. And, you know what I'm saying, that's when the fight happened. Now, then I went to the hole. Here it is the next day. The sergeant, he the one who had me locked up. And he was the white racist motherfucker. He didn't like me. But the black lieutenant, when she came back on, she was like, no, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? You know what? He wasn't charged with anything. They didn't prove anything. They just got, you know what I'm saying, hearsay from witness, you know what I'm saying, people dropping kites, dropping notes and telling the staff what happened. So they heard there was a fight, you know what I mean, and the whole situation. They know what's going on. The police know when a white Crip hits the yard, there's going to be issues. So no, they said leave him, let him go. So they let me go back on the yard. So then they put me back in 16 building after the fight. When the lieutenant comes back on, she pulls me out and has me put back in my cell. And she said, nah, you know what I'm saying, that sergeant, you know what I'm saying, he was wrong. You, next time you have a problem, you know what I'm saying, have him call me. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then, you know what I'm saying, we was, everything was cool. It was like the next day before breakfast, the alarm goes off. We're locked in our cells. But when this alarm goes off, it's everywhere. So the bell is ringing, lights going off. You in your cell, you jumping up, looking out your little window like, what is it? What's going on? What's happening? So then you can look out, depending on where you are, you can look and see where the police are running to. We couldn't see nothing So, we laid back down, didn't know what happened. So then, later on that day, it was supposed to be breakfast and they didn't give us breakfast. And then, breakfast didn't happen until like 10 in the morning. What the hell happened? When we go to word comes out, because we just go get sack lunches and they give us two sack lunches, no breakfast. Come to find out, there was a white inmate who was working in the kitchen. So he would get up early and go to work in the kitchen and make the breakfast and stuff like that. So he was in the kitchen and he was talking to somebody else and he called me. He would, I don't know if he was talking about me. He was talking about a N-word lover. So there was a black dude who had a life sentence who was working in the kitchen. He heard a dude and he got offended. So he stabbed the dude like 18 times. So that's what happened. So, okay. Now, I go back to sleep in my cell after we get our sack lunches. Ain't no yard. Everything's locked down. We don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, the police come to my door and tell me, roll your shit up. You're going back to 16 building. What the hell? I ain't do shit. I ain't even do nothing. It don't matter. They're saying that the stabbing was because of me, and that makes me a threat to the safety and security of the institution. So he's putting me off the yard back into that lockup building, which is 16 building. I'm like, hell no, fuck that. I don't want to go back in that building. Uh, how many white bloods? I've heard of, I've heard of, like, a few, maybe two. I heard of two white bloods that I've personally know of. I don't know where they're at. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're still active. uh, yeah, but it's hard when that it's a difficult situation because the administration, they want the racial issues to stay a part of prison because it keeps them in control. Because as long as they have control, then they can't, they can make us do anything. And that's the thing, we're slaves used to do work to keep their prisons going and to give them a job so that they can sit on a fat lazy ass and collect a fat check on the state. It's a cold hustle. You know what I mean? Look, man, look, I wish I would have, went and became a prison guard. Man, them fools got it good and easy too. Hey, look, I've known a few of them, you know what I mean? The cop straight told me, he's like, man, look, I got this many phones for sale. If you can help me sell them real quick, with one, I need to get rid of this, I need this much money, I need to get a new boat for my vacation. Hey, look, I'm a hustler, I ain't turning down nothing but my collar. But the cop knew, I had a reputation for, okay, he been around, he was solid, from another cop, from other cops. So, hey, it was a good deal. Crips. Oh, I ran into a couple Crips, the first white Crip I ever ran into was on the streets, and that was an old man from Fortray Gangster Crip. He was down in San Diego. That was the first one I ever met. But in the pen, the first one I ran into was Popcorn from Garden Block. Sacramento, 29th Street. Yeah, he hit the yard in Corcoran when I was there. He ended up having to handle his business. Two white boys rushed him, and he put hands on both of them. It was two against one, and he won. And he was a little dude. He was small, skinny, youngster. But he was solid. He stayed down. And that's the thing. All you gotta do is stay down. As long as you stay down, motherfuckers gonna recognize. It's hard when white and you running Crip or You know what I mean? I was even I was in Donovan. There was a white, no, there was a black skinhead. Yes, yes, a black skinhead. This dude had a. They said I ain't never met him. He was in the building with me, and officers was telling me about him. And they said he had a reverse Nazi sign. I don't know what that meant, but he was supposed to be a Sharpie, and a Sharpie is a skinhead against racial prejudice. A sharp. What the hell? Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? This it is what it is. But you know what I mean? They're like, hey man, are the blacks gonna have a problem? Hell no, blacks ain't gonna have a problem. Hey man, look, if that's what you want to do, you grown. Go do what you want to do. Go do it over there with the white boys. Go over there. That was funny. That was funny to me. I don't know. But people look at me like, what? A white boy that's a Crip? What? Yeah, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? This light skinned motherfucker will have your ass. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Man, I spent too much time stuck in a cage. But so the administration, after the dude got stabbed, the lieutenant, Miss Hodges, the one who got me out of the hole the last time, out of the 16 building the last time she was gone, it was her weekend. So I had to wait 2 days over there in the stress. There's no tobacco, no, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, you know what I'm saying? But this is when people come in. So once I got the hookup, you know what I'm saying, I had my homeboys sending me tobacco so that I could sell and then get the stamps and stamped envelopes. Because when you first come to prison, everybody come to prison with as many stamped envelopes as they can, because when you get there, this is money. This is cash money. So if you need something, you can get whatever you need. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, you need to get your basic necessities. Some people just want, tobacco. That's the main thing. People have been fiending in county jail all that time, no cigarettes. So now, you know what I'm saying, you can smoke over here. This was back in 1991. So people was buying cans of Bugler. And I'm talking about, I was up in there, you know what I'm saying, and I'm a hustler. So, I'm collecting my own. I'm collecting my own stamps, charging more when nobody else has any. That's when you raise the price. And people just get here. You gonna pay, you know what I mean? It don't matter, you know what I mean? Money's money, you know what I'm saying? You want a cigarette, you gonna pay. So three stamps, $1 for a cigarette. And this was when, tobacco was on the yard, so it wasn't that bad. But nah, you know what I'm saying? People will stick it to you when it's that time. So now after a couple of days, you know what I'm saying, the lieutenant comes back. So this time my homeboy, you know what I'm saying, my big homeboy, Odilo, rest in peace, him and the white boy shot caller and the lieutenant lady, Miss Hodges, come to 16 building where I was at, and then they open up my door. I'm like, what the hell? What's up? They're like, roll your shit up. And lieutenant's down there with my homeboy and the white boy shot caller. And I'm like, what the hell? You know what I mean? So I go down there like, what the fuck is that? So, you know what I mean? I wrap up my stuff real quick in the sheet, throw everything in the sheet, tie the corners up, throw it over my shoulder, bring it downstairs. You know what I'm saying? This is all I got. So I come downstairs, and then she's like, you know what I'm saying, put the bag down, pick it up. So she told the white boy shot caller to pick up my bag and carry my bag back to the building. Now we on lockdown, you know what I'm saying, because of the stabbing that went on in the kitchen 3 days ago. Everything's still locked down. So you know how it is. Everything is slammed, so everybody locked up. So she, you know what I'm saying, walked us into the building, and then I don't know, she was on the radio in front. I was in the back, you know what I'm saying, with the homie, like, right, man, good looking out, dog, because he the one who, you know what I'm saying, had to speak up to get me out of the hole. So I'm walking back, you know what I'm saying, we go into the building, and now we on lockdown. Everybody on lockdown, but the lieutenant done had the police in the building open up all the doors and have everybody step out of their cell. And they're all in front of their cell. We walked up and went to my cell, and the dude put my bag down, and you know what I'm saying, the lieutenant had the lady in the tower say he's back and he's here to stay. Right. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. So, made the motherfucker feel good. soul catching sharks and sharks in Australia. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. But that's the thing. I don't know nothing about them. So now, you know what I'm saying, I get out and we're on lockdown. So we don't get to do nothing. We walk to chow and we walk back twice a day. Breakfast, we pick up the sack lunch on the way out the door. So, twice a day we get a walk to the chow hall, hanging out, mingling with the homies, you know what I'm saying? One homie got a quart bottle and he's got, you know what I'm saying, he's making him a little trying to make him a little shot of wine. And that shit is fermenting, and he's just keeping it with him, carrying it with him all the time, sleeping with it, keeping it warm. But hey, some people would do anything for a drink. 12:30 p.m. here. I gotta go. Respect and peace. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. You know what I mean? Everybody that tapped in, I appreciate you. You know what I mean? So back to the story. So they leave us in the building now. All we do is walk back and forth to chow. So now, you know what I'm saying, I'm watching this white dude in my building, and when we walk to chow, he always right behind me. And you know what I'm saying, I see him in the corner of my eye because I'm watching. I'm paranoid. I got people telling me that I'm gonna die when I go to prison. And this dude, he's like a biker, you know what I mean, tatted up, you know what I'm saying, got a little size on him. You could tell he'd been to the pen before, San Diego white boy. And it's like, I don't know, but he red hair. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm watching him, and it's like every time I turn around, he's right there behind the crowd because I'm with the homies. So it's a bunch of us in the building. We all walk together. He got my back, I got they back. You know what I mean? So I'm not, tripping like that. But I keep seeing him, and I keep seeing. So I tell the homie, I'm like, cuz, distract the police when we go into the building. Distract the police, pull him aside. When I get the white boy in the sally port, I'm gonna get at him. So the homie's like, all right, I got you. So you know what I mean, he goes and he distracts the police, you know what I'm saying, gets him pulls aside, and now he can't see. The tower can't see in the sally port. The yard tower can't see in the sally port. You know what I mean? So when I walk, you know what I'm saying, and I slow down. When I get in the sally port, I lean over by the wall, and this is where the correctional officer's bathroom is. And in the other door tower, and this little rotunda, this is where you walk into the building. And you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. I catch the dude right there, and I turn around like, why you keep walking behind me? And he puts his hand up, and I hit him, and the fool runs out the building to the yard. I go back in. I'm trying to get away. I don't want to get caught by the police. So I'm thinking, get to your cell, get away from the situation. I'm not there. I don't know what you're talking about. So I get all the way up to my cell. I'm like, right, I done got away. You know what I mean? They lock everybody up. Ain't nobody noticed nothing. Like an hour after they get everybody locked up, the police come. I hear, you know what I'm saying, the keys as they coming up the stairs, coming up to my cell. And I'm like, damn, I hope they ain't coming to my cell. Damn, man, here they come. Hey, roll your shit up. You going to the hole. So the dude ran out. He went straight to the program office and told on me. He wasn't involved. He wasn't a threat, but I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? He was in a cell, a couple cells down from me. So every time we're released from chow, he's released from chow. So that's why I always see him. But I was just paranoid. And it was good, you know what I'm saying? Because it set an example, you know what I mean? But he ran and told the police. So now I got a 115, which is a rule violation, which is more points and more time. And I'm a first termer. This was my first time coming to prison. So I only got sentenced to 4 years. So I'm going to fire camp. So now my points have gone up. I'm level 1, but my points went up a little bit. I'm still level 1. So they shipped me and ended up transferring me all the way out to Jamestown. So I went all the way out to Jamestown because that's where they do training for the fire camps. So you have to pass a physical, a PT test. You have to do a certain amount of push-ups, pull-ups. You have to run I think it was a 6-minute mile when I was there. It's like a 6-minute mile. You didn't have to run full out, but you had, you know what I'm saying, you had to keep a good pace. And you could slow jog it and get your 1 mile in 6 minutes. And it was just a couple laps around the track. So they give you time while you're here to practice and prepare before you take the test to get ready. And you know what you need to do. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's not that hard. But as soon as I got there, you know, it was an immediate situation, you know what I mean, with the whites, because I got some toothpaste from a black dude who I came up on the bus with me. So he was from San Diego, but I knew, you know what I'm saying, we know each other on the streets. So he gave me some toothpaste, you know what I'm saying? And I'm brushing my teeth, and a white dude comes up to me, and I'm brushing my teeth, and